Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie. Well, we're out in the apiary here. I'm getting ready to take off an additional 8 more supers of honey. We so far have extracted 550 pounds of honey. I have tested the first 500 with a fractometer. The first reading was 16.5% moisture content. And halfway through I tested again and it was 17%. The frames were, I would say, 95 to 100% capped. Those moisture contents are very good. About a week or so ago, I did come out here and get 2 more supers, which were 18 frames. I went through them and kind of cherry picked the frames and made sure that they were all 90 to 95% capped, and took them in and spun them, and I did get about 54 pounds of honey out of that. But the fractometer read right at 18% moisture content, which kind of concerns me. It's not at the absolute high level that you should not extract, but I like to keep it at 17.5 or below. So what I'm going to do today is take off these supers. I'm going to make my own drying unit so I can dry my honey moisture content down. I'll be showing you that here in another video. Today we'll take these supers off. I will put on these brood chambers that I took off early spring. Right now they have a 2 medium brood chamber on the hives. I will put the 3rd medium back on. And then also in the springtime, I took off the sugar water honey that was left over from winter, and I've so far been able to give each super and each hive at least 2 frames of sugar water honey for them to get through our dearth. It is July the 20th. The dearth is on. The honey flow is over for me here where I live. The dearth will go through at least August. And then hopefully we might get a little bit of a fall flow in September with possibly the goldenrod, depending on how much it rains and all the different types of weather conditions involved there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. I thought I'd bring you along and give you an update on the single brood chamber management as far as how much honey I've harvested so far. I do expect a good estimate of about 800 pounds this year. I don't see any more than that. Like I said in a previous video, I did make 1100 last year, but the weather conditions were perfect. This year we did receive a lot of rain throughout the honey flow, which did wash the nectar away at certain points of the time. On the single brood chamber management, a lot of folks talk about wintering through with either 1 deep or 2 mediums, and I found with talking with those people, those beekeepers do not feed through the dearth, so that actually sets the hive backwards. The queen stops laying, the population in the hive reduces, and then they feed later, I'll say September, right before fall hits, to get them fed enough to get through the winter. And I like going through the winter with a lot of bees, so they have plenty of brood and food and bee power to get through that winter cold. So what I like doing is I will put these 3rd boxes on. I will come out with top hive feeders. On my 10 frames, I use the Man Lake top hive feeders that hold approximately 4 gallons. I will give each one of these honey hives 2 gallons of sugar water, 1 to 1 at this time. And give my nukes, they have a feeder that will hold approximately 3 quarts. And I will give them 2 top hive feeder fulls of sugar water, which is about 1.5 gallons, and that'll hold them through September. And then my normal feeding plan for the fall is about a week or so after Labor Day, depending on weather. I will start feeding 2-to-1 sugar water until they basically stop taking it. Then I know they have plenty of food to get through to springtime. So let's go ahead and take these supers off and put the third box on that was originally taken off. Oh, by the way, I mean, I do know there's other folks out there that use deeps, and they will probably be putting their second deep on, or some folks also use a deep and a medium for their wintering configuration. So it all depends on what you all are comfortable with, where you live in the country, whether you live down in the deep south where you don't get a very heavy cold winter, or whether you live north, let's say in New Hampshire or Vermont, where they get a lot of snow and a very long cold period of winter. So let's go ahead and take these supers off and put the third medium back on for their brood chamber, and we'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into this hive here. It only has one honey super. Of course, it does have a queen excluder, and I will also remove that. Right alongside here are the third brood chambers with the 2 frames of honey in it, ready to be put back on the hive. What I will do is go into this hive and inspect to make sure I have a good laying queen, and that way we know that we can get this hive through the winter. And later on I will treat these hives for varroa. So let's get in here and see what we got. We got plenty of bees, that's for sure. Go ahead and put the fume board on. One of them got me in the leg there. They're not too happy, that's for sure. While that one's going on, I'm going to go ahead and open up another hive and put the fume board on that one. All right, the bees are all out. Let's check some honey here to see what it looks like. Or maybe the combs, I would say. Well, that's partially full, and it is not actually capped. Let's do a shake test. Nothing does squirt out of it, which that is a good sign. Let's try another frame here. Another good strong thing, but it's only about 50% maybe capped. About 80% on that. My concern is if I leave this on the hive, that with the dearth being on, that they're going to actually eat all the honey up, and my crop will be lessened by that. So that's why I want to get this stuff off as soon as possible, so I can get the honey out of it, and then I can just go ahead and feed them. So I will get back to you as soon as I get this done. Well, everyone, I've taken the super off, and I also took the queen excluder off, and by luck I went ahead and pulled one frame out on top of the top brood chamber, and there was my queen marked and walking around. So I know for sure I have a queen in this hive, and everything looks good. There is brood in there and eggs. So now we have a third brood chamber, and then we will be able to feed this hive so they will continue to lay through this dirt, and we will have a nice buildup of bees, hopefully, or at least maintain what we already have in the hive. All right, we're here at this next hive. It does have 2 honey supers on. I already have the fume board on there. It's been on there for several minutes since we were working on the other hive. The bees are out of it, which is good. As far as the honey goes, there is some honey in here. There's some there. Like I say, about 50% capped. And there is no honey that shakes out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. And like I said, put it in our makeshift dryer. All right, I've got both of the honey supers taken off. I've got the queen exclude here that I'm going to remove now. As far as the bee population in the brood chamber, it does look good. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can inspect the hive and see what kind of brood we have. And definitely have some brood there. That is a beautiful looking frame of cap brood. Both sides. Good looking population here as far as judging by the cap brood. Both frames on either side are identical with being capped. I would like to go and see if I can find some larvae, just to make sure that we have all stages of brood. And I believe we all do. So it looks good for this hive. We will go ahead and put the, yes, there's some larvae in the corner there. As the sunlight's kind of going away from me and I can't quite make, yes, we do have eggs in there. So we do have a queen, and she is doing a great job. So this hive is going to be doing very good. We'll go ahead and put the honey super on. Or not the honey super, but the brood box on. And there it is. They've got a couple frames of honey to eat on until I get out here and give them a little bit of food to get through the dirt. And put the lid back on. And we're done with that hive at this time. Well, everyone, we've got all the supers that I wanted to take off this evening. The sun's starting to go down. So until next time, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share my videos with your friends, and have fun with your bees.